Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. It's been a minute. Let me say that it's been a minute. It's early, out here, Washington. I see if you look good enough, you can see the monument back there. Yeah, out in Washington at work, early morning, early bird catches the worms. Look a little haggard, like I said, been a little sleepy, but that's from working hard, and I'm grateful for it. I want to thank everybody, for reaching out, checking on me, wondering where I'm at, wondering where I've been. I'm working. I am. And I apologize for not being as consistent as I would like to be with just coming to you all with a piece. Like I say, I call it lessons learned because I've learned a lot of lessons and I'm still learning lessons. Every day, all day, I'm learning lessons about people. I'm learning lessons about myself. And so I'm here and I'm grateful for you all. Just, going through a lot, the ups and downs of life, man. Everybody's facing them. There's been a lot of death, lost a few people in my family, and a lot of people just losing people. Like, I'm always mindful of, like, wow, it just seems like it's so much death because not everybody is old, Like, some people are young, just passing. This fentanyl overdose epidemic is real serious out here these days, and I'm hating, man, that so many people are just losing their lives from it, and even COVID is still out here. Just a lot of things, but I'm working. I was blessed to be able to go speak at a landmark detention center in Alexandria about 2 weeks ago. Grateful for that. Grateful for those who get me in there to speak to the youth and try to give them a piece that will cause them to think, to ponder life a little more, that their decision making may become wiser, right? So, I'm striving. I am still talking to the youth, still going over, Potomac Gardens neighborhood, the Southeast, still trying to do a little mentoring here and there, and staying busy otherwise. So I'm here. What did I want to speak about? I'll keep this one brief. Real talk. I'll keep this one brief. I have a few more things coming up. I was blessed to be able to come out with my second poetry book. I think I mentioned it. So I'll have a picture of it and whatnot. And hopefully, those who would like to, please, get a copy. I think if you like poetry, I believe you'll like it. I thoroughly enjoy it, and many people have given it some real decent reviews. What's on my mind? Don't overlook the blessing that is unexpected. Don't overlook the blessing that is unexpected. What do I mean by that? I mean this. All of us expect something from people, from God. We expect something. Like, if you're in a relationship, ladies, you love your man, you're doing everything, right? You're doing everything. You cooking, you cleaning, you trying to make him happy, you're loyal to him, you're faithful, etc. You expect the same from him. That's natural. But if he isn't, then you go down in gloom, you go down in the slumps, when the truth might be best to get rid of him, right? But I've known so many women that have taken back guys who've used them, abused them, dogged them, whatever. And they'll say, I love them. And I don't doubt that you love them. But do you love yourself, right? What is the blessing that you're overlooking? What is the blessing that you could be missing because you're wasting so much time on someone that will never appreciate what you bring to the table? Same thing with men. Same thing with men. Same thing with family. I remember when I was I used to sit back and I would look and say, man, my roommate used to get visits all the time. I had two roommates. They were from Richmond, Virginia. And that was like from Greensville and Nottoway, maybe an hour or so away. So, they got visits like it wasn't nothing. And, I'm from D.C., so my people didn't get a chance to come a whole lot really barely. And there were moments when I'd be like, man, I'm in here working, I'm here, trying to be a mentor, helping people. I'm doing my best to change, to evolve, but I ain't getting no visits. And here this dude might be sitting around all day doing nothing with his bit. He ain't trying to get, no GED, no school help, nobody. If anything, he just sitting around his homeboys, just talking about nothing. And he got visits every single month, if not 2-3 times a week. And this for years. I'm talking about, man, over 15 years, real talk. But there was only moments I did that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I had to catch myself from worrying about his blessing. And I had to think about, what was I blessed with? What was I blessed with? Well, I changed my mind state. I no longer thought the way I used to think. I no longer, acted the way I would act. I didn't sit around playing cards and joking and acting silly all day. The Bible says he who increases in knowledge increases in sorrow, meaning that the more you evolve, the more you see life for what it is. And it's painful. I mean, it's beautiful, but there's pain there, but you accept that because that's adulthood. Right? So I would sit around and try to help people. I would sit there and try to be a brother. I would face my mistakes. I would look in the mirror. Some people didn't do that. They got high their whole bit. They drunk their whole bit. Drank, pardon me. And so I had to sit back and say, well, my desire to change was a blessing. I had to count other blessings. Sometimes, you look and you say, well, damn, I want to hear from this cousin. I grew up with that cousin. Why I don't hear from him? And yet a cousin that you barely wrote or barely grew up with, be the one that's writing you the most. Don't overlook that blessing. Sometimes we want, you might want a sibling to be the one that writes you and come see you the most. Nah, it may be a friend. It may be, an aunt, an uncle. I grew up and one of my aunts was always the house that everybody went to. Always. She cooked for everybody. She cleaned for everybody. Whether she was on drugs or not, she was there, right? And she maintained that when I got locked up. But I used to be like, man, why I don't hear from this aunt? Why I don't hear from this aunt? Now, anytime I pick up a call, she never hung up. But it was another aunt that wrote all the time, sent pictures all the time. So while I was expecting to hear from one aunt who had done everything she could while I was free and was still doing everything she could while others were coming by her house, it was another aunt that picked up that absence, right? That filled in that void. So, it's a lot of time we'll sit back, I'll sit back, like I said, y'all done heard me talk about my car giving me hard times. And I think I went to something, it was a party not too long ago. And I'm looking, man, and all returning citizens, all